Fellow auto detailers, welcome to the show that features interviews with today's most successful auto detailers. This is the Auto Detailing Podcast. Here's your host, Jimbo Balaam.
Hey, what's up, everyone, and welcome to episode 425 of the Auto Detailing Podcast. I know it's been a few weeks since I've been on, but I kind of had to go through, I have a lot of plates spinning, right? Not to make excuses, but what was cool was I got to this conclusion, and I wanted to share kind of, this podcast over the years and YouTube and all that is kind of an ever learning, ever growing documentation, I guess, of detailing and life and business and kind of all those things mixed in together. And sometimes it gets really, really difficult. And then when you add on or add in a pandemic, it can make things even crazier. When the kids aren't at school, time is even more limited for certain things, I guess, and then time is expanded for more things or other things. And so through this kind of season of this pandemic that we've been going through, which I really do, and obviously I'm not a doctor and really have no idea, but based on the phone calls that I'm getting, the conversations that I'm starting to have, people are wanting to get back to normal. And I've seen a growth in my detailing business and definitely an influx of calls of people being interested in detailing and regular detailing, not even like, I need my car sanitized, like, hey, bought a new Corvette, want to get it coated, when can I bring it in? Hey, my car needs a detail, it's been a while, when can we fit it in? And so, and I'm even noticing this in my own life of like stuff around the house that I've been wanting to get done forever, stuff around the shop that I've been wanting to get done forever, things I've been wanting to do with the family forever, including just hanging out, right? And so I really do, kind of the underlying theme here is that I do feel like we are going to get back to normal. We have to at some point. It's not human nature to sit at home and not interact with anyone else. And so anyway, with all that said, over the past 2 weeks, I've been really slacking on some of my internet activities, right? And my detailing internet activities. And I finally came to a conclusion, and the reason why I'm sharing this is because I think it could be really helpful and really true in anyone's life. And this quote, and I don't know who said it or where it even came from, but it kind of has been my mantra over the past week or two. And I'm really hoping to kind of try to refocus because I don't know, for whatever reason, I really love podcasting, and I've kind of struggled over the past couple weeks, maybe even a couple months, to pump it out continuously and consistently, which I've always been a big fan of. Anyway, the quote or thought is, what you focus on expands. And I'm totally guilty of it. When this pandemic started, I watched every news conference. I was watching news conferences for the state of New York. I don't even live in New York. What does that have anything to do with my life? I was watching different county news conferences that didn't pertain to me. Texas, Louisiana, Michigan, Illinois. I'm watching all these news conferences, and obviously I think a lot of us did the same thing of just fear of the unknown, right? And so, but that was my focus, is trying to get a grasp and understand what this coronavirus thing meant. And then I think what I was doing is watching all these news conferences to try to get as much info as possible to figure out how that affected my life, or how it may affect my life, what to do, how to handle it, how to strategize around that. And that's why about a month ago, maybe a little bit more, I put out like 7 podcasts in a row of how to handle that, because after watching all those news conferences, then I decided to develop a plan for myself and my business. And therein lied the potential problem or solution, is that my focus shifted. So I went into borderline panic mode for at least a week, and my focus shifted into, okay, how am I going to get through this? What does this mean? What if all my income streams shut off? What am I going to do? And my focus shifted to that. And then once that stabilized, my focus shifted again to multiple different things and a lot of private things that were going on in my life at the time that kind of took away. So once I got the business stable, I had to focus on like, okay, family now, kids are home, wife's home, she's not working. And so boom, shifted the focus to family. And now and then Mother's Day came and had to focus on that and all these different things. And now it's boom, okay, I can shift my focus again, at least temporarily, to I need to record more videos. I need to get some of the pipe, because I'm a big fan of like batch recording stuff and then scheduling it out. I think that really helps for times when you can kind of, for example, if I batch record 5 podcasts or 8 podcast episodes, and I'm gonna sprinkle those out over 8 weeks, that I can be hyper focused on podcasts for a day or two and pump out as many as I possibly can, schedule them, be done. And then I can switch my focus to something else, say my detailing business that maybe sagged for those 2 days, return calls, emails, whatever, and I can shift focus while the other thing is going on. That is why I love scaling with systems and not necessarily people. With detailing, physical detailing, it's a little bit harder to do that, but the thing that you can always do with detailing is you can multitask and you can listen to podcasts and you can grow, and your focus could be on detailing, but sometimes it becomes monotonous if you're just polishing or just cleaning or whatever. And so you can learn and strategize while you're cleaning, which I think is the biggest unfair advantage we as detailers have. And so your focus can be kind of 2 places at once. And that makes me think of another point I want to talk about later. However, I love podcasting so much. I just had to get this out there. Whatever you focus on expands. So the point is, if you're still focusing on, man, I'm not essential. My business has been closed down for weeks. I'm going under. If you focus on that, it's going to expand. It's going to become true. It is going to become your whole reality, similar to me when I'm watching all these stupid news conferences from places I don't even live and have no effect on me. So if I shift my focus to, okay, instead of watching a news conference from New York, which is 2,500, 3,000 miles away from where I live and virtually has no bearing over my life, if I shift that focus to, how do I focus on what pays my bills? So if I focus on that, I can weather this storm. So what does my savings look like? What does my pipeline look like with future work? What are my opportunities that are directly in front of my face? What clients can I reach out to? And because chances are not all your clients care the same about the coronavirus, right? So some of my clients shut down. They literally were self-isolating for weeks, and they've called me and they're like, hey, can we do this from, I'll unlock my cars. Literally had a client that was like, I haven't driven my car in 4 weeks, haven't even been in it for 4 weeks. I know it needs clean because it sits outside every day. Can I unlock it from inside the house? You clean it and I'll lock it when you're done, and then I'll Venmo you. I mean, I didn't even see the client. I didn't even see them. I've done their cars for 7 years, haven't even seen them. And they're self-isolating, taking it very, 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 very serious, probably the most serious out of all my clients, and they still found a way to get it done. So again, if you've been focusing on the wrong things, I guess this is the gist of it. If you've been focusing on the wrong things and those things are starting to come to fruition, expand, whatever you want to call it, change your focus. And I think that's the call to action for this episode, and what I really wanted to get across is change your focus. Don't focus on, I can't even tell you. So I had some home projects going on, and for, about a week, 5 days, I was like fully entrenched in the home projects. Some of you may not have noticed because, again, I batch record and schedule and blah, blah, blah. Maybe some of you record it or noticed. Who knows? But I was fully entrenched in home projects for about a week. I came out of that, and it happened probably like midweek, 3-4 days in, where I was like, wow, I haven't watched the news conference. Like, I couldn't tell you the latest stats. I couldn't tell you anything about the coronavirus. I couldn't tell you if we were open. I had no idea. No clue. Now, a week or two previous to that, I could have told you the exact death rate in New York City, in Illinois, what was going on in Michigan, what Florida beaches were open, what was going on in Illinois, all that. I had all that, for my world, useless information, I'll call it. Is it helpful to know, maybe in light of what could be going on? Yes, but it had no bearing over my day-to-day life here in Orange County, California. And that, it was overwhelming. It was adding stress to my life. That wasn't necessary. All these things. And for that week that I just kind of refocused on something else and reset, it helped me completely reset. And I thought, you know what? Instead of watching a news conference for an hour, I could record a few podcasts. I could bring something to my audience. I could do a YouTube video. I could do this. I could do that. I could do all these other things. I just needed to shift my focus. So I think I'm beating a dead horse here. Anyway, that's today's episode. Whatever you focus on expands. Change your focus. Focus on your clients. Focus on your detailing business. Focus on your skill set. Now is a great time, if you do have to self-isolate, to hone a new skill within detailing, pick up a new tool and learn it. And so I hope you guys enjoyed that episode. Of course, this episode was brought to you by House Call Pro. If you go to housecallpro.com/ADP, you could focus on your detailing business, and you can focus on making sure you have a client database to reach into next time this happens. You could send your clients a postcard. You could follow up with them. You could text them. You could do all the things. Check out housecallpro.com/ADP, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. See ya.